The world has always been fascinated by the whirlwind romance between Yaman and Demet Özdemir. What started as a fairy tale connection on screen quickly spilled into real life, capturing the imagination of millions of fans across the globe. They weren't just two actors playing characters in a romantic comedy, suddenly, they were the very embodiment of the story they portrayed. Their chemistry was undeniable, their connection impossible to ignore. Yet, as with every great love story, the path was never as simple as it seemed. Today, we revisit the most critical moment, the breaking point, when their romance, once full of passion and promise, faced its biggest challenge yet. From the very first day they appeared together on Turkish, known internationally as Daydreamer, audiences knew something was different. This wasn't just acting. When Can looked into Demet's eyes, there was a spark that electrified the screen. Every gesture, every smile, every touch seemed too natural, too real to be scripted. It was as though their characters, Sanam and Can, were simply extensions of their true selves. Fans all around the world began to blur the lines between fiction and reality, rooting for the couple both on and off screen. But what happens when the intensity of fiction collides with the complexities of real life? That's the question that haunted both Can and Demet. Fame brought them together, but it also set them up for incredible pressure. Every word, every glance, every rumor was dissected by millions. For Can, who had always been outspoken, this was both thrilling and suffocating. For Demet, who valued her privacy, it was a battle she hadn't signed up for. Their story, at first, was magical. On set, they laughed together between takes. Off set, whispers of late-night phone calls and secret rendezvous began to swirl. Fans posted endless theories online, were they together or weren't they? For months, neither confirmed nor denied. But their actions spoke louder than words. The stolen looks, the gentle touches, the way Can defended Demet publicly when she faced criticism, it all added fuel to the fire. They were, in many ways, Turkey's most captivating couple, even if they hadn't officially admitted it. The breaking point, however, didn't come overnight. Like cracks in glass, tension began to form slowly, invisibly, until one day, it could no longer be ignored. As Can's career skyrocketed, international offers began to pour in. Italy, Spain, and even Hollywood took notice of his charisma. Demet, too, was on her own path, stepping into new roles, new challenges, and even new opportunities abroad. Their schedules became chaotic, their time together limited. For a relationship built on connection, distance became their biggest enemy. But distance wasn't the only issue. The media's constant intrusion made things unbearable. Paparazzi followed their every move. A simple dinner out could spark wild headlines. Can and Demet fighting over career choices, Demet leaves Can in tears, or Can Yaman seen with another woman, trouble in paradise? While most of these stories were exaggerated or completely false, the damage was real. Every rumor planted seeds of doubt. Every headline became a test of trust. For Demet, who longed for normalcy, it was overwhelming. She once confided in an interview that love should be lived privately, not performed for the world. Can, on the other hand, often embraced the spotlight, sometimes too much for Demet's comfort. This difference in philosophy created friction. Fans, unknowingly, began taking sides. Social media turned into a battlefield where every photo, every like, every absence was scrutinized. And then came the night that many fans still whisper about. A supposed argument backstage, right before an award show. According to insiders, Demet was visibly upset, while Can tried to mask his emotions for the cameras. They walked the red carpet, smiling for the flashes, but those who knew them sensed the tension. Something had shifted. The fairy tale image was beginning to crack. The breaking point wasn't a single fight, but rather the accumulation of pressures. Their love was real, undeniably so, but the weight of fame, the constant speculation, and the lack of privacy created a storm they couldn't escape. Can, in his own way, tried to protect Demet, often confronting journalists or responding fiercely on social media. But sometimes his boldness backfired, drawing even more attention. Demet, on the other hand, withdrew, choosing silence over scandal. That silence, though, was often misinterpreted as indifference. And so, the world watched as the couple, once inseparable, began to drift apart. Fans noticed fewer appearances together, fewer posts, fewer public acknowledgements. It was as if they were silently asking the world to give them space, yet the world only pushed harder. Still, what makes this story unforgettable is not just the tension, but the deep affection that never truly faded. Even in moments of distance, there were subtle signs that the bond remained. Kim once admitted in an interview that some people are unforgettable, no matter what happens. Demet, in her own emotional statement, confessed that certain connections leave a mark forever. Neither named names, but fans knew exactly who they were referring to. Their love story hit its breaking point, yes, but it didn't shatter completely. It transformed. It became more complex, more layered, more human. Perhaps that's why millions still hold on to the hope of a reunion. Perhaps that's why every new project, every public appearance, still brings questions. Will Can and Demet ever find their way back to each other? In the end, their romance stands as both a beautiful memory and a bittersweet lesson. It showed the world that love, even the strongest kind, struggles under the weight of fame. It proved that two people can share an extraordinary bond, yet still face challenges that test their limits. And it reminded us all that sometimes, the greatest love stories are the ones that face the greatest obstacles. Today, as both Yaman and Demet Özdemir continue to shine in their respective careers, the echoes of their past still linger. Every glance, every quote, every unspoken word fuels speculation. Fans remain captivated, not because of what was lost, but because of what still feels unfinished. Their love story, though marked by a breaking point, continues to live on, in their eyes, in their silence, and in the hearts of millions who believe that true love, once found, never truly disappears. But here's the deeper truth: even as time passed, the memory of their connection refused to fade. In countless interviews, even when asked about future projects or ideal partners, both Can and Demet carried a hesitation, a pause, almost as if they were holding back something too personal to reveal. Fans noticed those silences, those subtle smiles, and interpreted them as proof that the story wasn't truly over. In Italy, where Can became a massive star, journalists often tried to corner him with questions about Demet. Sometimes he laughed them off, other times he grew serious, giving answers that were diplomatic but always tinged with emotion. "Life takes us in different directions," he once said, "but that doesn't mean the past disappears." That single line sent fans into a frenzy, convinced it was about her. Meanwhile, Demet, who has always chosen a more private route, surprised everyone during a candid conversation when she spoke about how love isn't measured by publicity or grand gestures, but by the quiet ways two people hold on to each other even when apart. Though she didn't mention Can's name, the emotion in her voice was unmistakable. This is why their story remains so powerful. It's not just about romance, it's about resilience, vulnerability, and the way two souls can impact each other beyond the limits of time. Their breaking point was painful, yes, but it also revealed just how much they had once meant to each other. For fans, this is not a tale of an ending, but of a love that remains suspended, unfinished, waiting, and still capable of surprising the world. And so, the question lingers like a shadow over their careers: will there be another chapter? The world, stunned by their breaking point, continues to hope for a twist no one saw coming. Because if love this powerful can survive fame, distance, and time, then maybe, just maybe, it can survive anything.